I think the Latin culture in general has a very loving, embracing type of personality, you know? And they're just always just hugging you, and they just give you the kiss on the cheek, and it's great. It's just so warm and loving. In the area that I was in, specifically in Lima, it's a dangerous area, and so a lot of the homes are barred or gated or with 5 locksmith locks, and it's just very, very kind of people. A lot of people are very closed when it comes to safety, and so typically, we didn't. To be honest, we didn't knock on a lot of doors because it's hard to even just get past. Then they don't even open the front door. You know, and our mission president would suggest us to do in several other ways by contacting and working through members and less actives and stuff. But it's a very kind of a closed community, I guess you could say. It's different from the Providences in Peru, where people are outside and they're just talking, and you know, it's a different lifestyle. And it's a little bit more of a safer environment, I guess you could say. But inside of Lima, to be honest, there's a lot of robbing and stealing. I don't want to scare anybody that's going there, but it is the truth. You do have to be careful, and it is kind of closed. However, the moment, when you knock on the door, they don't even come out their front door. They like come out their window, and they're just like, "Who is it?" You know? And it's funny. I thought it was the funniest thing, or I thought it was the weirdest thing when I first was there. I was like, "Why doesn't anybody open their door? How rude! They just come out of their windows all the time." I don't understand this. And so, but then I understood that it was because a lot of people are afraid, and because there's a lot of things that will happen. So, anyways, but the moment that you can gain their trust, if you can just talk to them through the window, or if you can talk to them through having a member there who knows them, or there's so many different ways that you can do it to gain the trust of a Peruvian inside the center city of Lima. But once you've gained that trust, they embrace you. They just embrace you, and you feel so loved. It's like I just have a family down there. I really do. I'd love to go back down there, and I know that I would just be received in open arms and taken care of, because the people just love. Their capacity to love is so big. And so really it's just a matter of just getting past the trust wall that is just made there just because of the nature of the city. Once you get past that, the people are absolutely amazing, and they're super, super kind. So anyways, that's a little bit about the people. They're very, very family oriented. Super family oriented, and I think there's a lot of families or a lot of places in the world that are, but I just feel like you go to a house, and this is really normal. You knock on the bottom door, and it's probably like the mom and dad, and then upstairs is their first kid, and then that's their second kid, and above that's their third kid, and the fourth kid, and all their families. And it's just like when you move out, you just move upstairs, or you build another layer on top of your house, or you're living right next door, or you're living right behind. That's really, really normal, is that they will stick very close to each other. And that's really neat to see how close they are and how actively involved they are in each other's lives. I feel like it is I don't know, I feel like we're probably used to a very fast-paced lifestyle, and it's a little bit more of a slower paced, and kind of just like breathe in and take in the moment a little. And their lunch is very important to them. And it's different because, this is something very interesting that I had to get used to, is that we'll eat dinner as our main meal. You come home and you eat together, and that's, kind of the typical family dinner is that. And then you have a big meal. But there it's actually for lunch. And so for breakfast, you'll eat something really small. And then for lunch, a lot of shops will close down, or a lot of people will go home, and you'll have lunch together. And lunch will be from 1 to 3. This isn't just, let's grab a sandwich and a soup or something. You have like a family dinner, but it's family lunch, I guess you could say. And you just eat, and you just have a good lunch. Now, obviously, for missionaries, it's different. We get in and out, and we go back to work, But it's interesting because a lot of times during 1 and 3, you could find a lot of families at home, because that's just it's the lunch hour. And so I think it was a little bit less in that area, because it is the middle of the city, and so there's a lot of people who are working, who go out to the middle of the city, and they're working a lot of professional jobs. But that is the culture of Peru, and really the culture of a lot of South America is that lunch is the main meal. And I did find that very often. We would eat big lunches, and then for dinner we'd have like a bread, like a couple pieces of toast and like some hot chocolate or just something really simple, some fruit or cereal or something like that. We would just go back to our apartment, just eat something simple. And so anyways, that was kind of a culture difference that I had to get used to. And in the middle of the day, you're so full, and then you have to go out walking. You're just like, oh my word. But it's great because you burn all the calories after you eat them all. You know, you get home, you barely eat anything, go to bed. It's such a healthy way to like live and eat. It's great. So anyways, that was something kind of different that I hadn't known. So yeah.